Hi YouTube. I just want to put together a quick video. I want to talk about consumerism. It's. I want to talk about it on a personal level. It's a big deal to me because it's so hardwired into my DNA from when I was a kid, and it's something I still fight with. Okay, despite the fact that my results over the last couple of years have been so strong. And that is certainly motivating, and it validates what I've been doing, okay? But it's still something I fight with, and I think about it in a bigger picture way. I think about, the spending habits throughout a person's life, like the cycle, if you will. And I've just been kind of thinking about, how much of this is universal versus just me and my observations. I think about trying to chase what can't be caught, right? When you get that realization, I'm not going to be a wealthy guy. Reality kind of sets in. A lot of people are kind of like, just to use kind of a metaphor, think about like Captain Ahab spending his whole life trying to chase down Moby Dick, and basically, ruining his life and that of those around him in the process. Is there a financial metaphor to be found there? It's chasing your own financial white whale. Does it cause harm and damage in your financial life, right? And possibly even those around you. I mean, I don't know. I'm asking. Sometimes I feel like I'm the greyhound on the track, right? And everybody's chasing that mechanical rabbit, and I feel like I'm just stopping, saying, guys, it's not real. And when you catch it, you're gonna be pretty disappointed. Even those who seemingly have it all, people have holes in their life. They have voids in their life. Even people that you think are rich and successful and have it all, they're still chasing something, that may not even be there, and it may not be wealth related. The important thing is, without a doubt, is keeping your priorities straight. No matter what it is. Family and friends should be number one, period. And there's barely a number two, in all honesty. You really have to keep the priorities in your life straight and recognize that. And it seems like when you can do that, then everything kind of starts to fall together. And I know there's some irony here, right? Because so many of my videos are chasing wealth by acquiring silver and gold. But what I'm saying is, putting away the consumerism, setting that aside, frees up more money and allows you to build up a bigger silver and gold stack. I think back to when I was a little kid. And that was when cartoons were on Saturday mornings, right? And that was a big deal. You look forward to Saturday morning. I mean, that was your time. You'd wake up bright and early in the morning, and maybe you'd start with Bugs Bunny and just kind of, you'd watch cartoons all morning. And it's funny, you always had them all mapped out, right? You knew exactly what cartoon was on and what time slot on, what channel. And if they ever messed around with the time slotting, you were not happy. And you were just hammered with ads. Unbelievable. And it all seemed like really cool stuff, didn't it? You wanted it all. You wanted that little Evel Knievel with the ripstick, and you yank it out and the motorcycle takes off on its own and even has a little jump. You wanted even that, they even made like Light Bright and Easy Bake ovens look really cool. Man, you wanted it all. And obviously your parents can give you all that stuff, but it was hardwired into your brain very early on that you want this stuff. And also, that's your baptism into kind of into social activity. You're going to school, and you quickly realize that the kids that come from money are more popular in most cases. Unfortunately, they get the new clothes, they've got they got the new gadgets, they got the cooler toys, and people kind of gravitate towards them. So already there's a little bit of a feeling of inferiority, right? I don't have the money, therefore, it's going to affect me in other ways. It's going to affect me socially. And then that's even more pronounced when you get to high school, and all these, the kids that come from money start getting nice cars and everything else at 16 years old when they get their driver's license. And that's tough to come to terms with. Now, here's the other piece, and here's where it gets hard for you. Okay, your parents, when you were born, probably had it really tight. Having a newborn, man, those daycare bills are really expensive, and diapers and formula and doctor bills and everything else. And plus, you're added to their benefits now. All that really makes it difficult. That's a tough financial adjustment for your parents. But by the time you're a teenager, they're usually in their peak earning years. So things are kind of loosening up a little bit, and they also realize that you're not going to be in the house much more, so they start loosening the purse strings a little bit. They start spending more on family vacations and everything else. So you get used to this new lifestyle. And when you make it out on your own, you kind of want to maintain that lifestyle. And this is the biggest trap to me. Your 20s are brutal because, number one, you feel like you have all the time in the world. You feel invincible. You have all the time in the world, and you do have a lot of time. And you're for the first time in your life, you're making real money. Okay, you have a job, and even though the money, it may not even sound like a lot. Maybe it's $22,000 a year, but man, that sounds like a heck of a lot more than your allowance was, right? Maybe you don't really have a sense of what it really costs to live. Maybe you're still living with your parents and making that much money, so now you're really blowing it, right? You're getting a new car because what's a $500 a month payment when you're making $22,000 a year and living at home? And you can make some really bad financial mistakes at that point in your life that are going to take a long time to recover from. And usually when you hit your 30s, you start doing some self-assessments and going, I don't have any. I just worked for 10 years. I don't have anything. And it gets even more pronounced if you get to my age and you have that realization. And then all of a sudden you realize, well, wait a minute, I'm at the midpoint of my working life. And if I'm going to extrapolate everything out, and if I'm going to extrapolate out zero, then what does my retirement look like? And it kind of hits you with a ton of bricks, right? And that's where I am now. Maybe it's my age kicking in. Maybe it's I don't know if I already said this or not, because this is like the third take. But maybe it's my age. Maybe it's my perspective changing. Maybe it's realizing that that a lot of the things that I had always thought I saw myself doing, accomplishing, is going to be really it's something that I shouldn't be chasing anymore, because it's just not there for me, and I have to kind of reset my priorities. And I've done that the last couple of years, and like I said, it's really hard for me to knock the results that I've seen. So yeah, the pull is always there, right? You still want to fly down to Aruba, or you want to do some of this really fun stuff, or maybe there's that new car that you want. But I'm finding that by kind of taking a slow and steady approach and doing what I'm doing has been paying off really well. So it's what I'm going to keep doing, and the hope is to kind of keep my priorities straight, and then just keep moving on. So, all right, guys, just a little chat, and I'll talk to you later.